I turned the mic on so you guys couldn't hear the background noise. So I'm going to turn this off because I can hear myself talking. Maybe I just go mute. Okay. Now can everyone hear me? Sorry. I gotta be a newbie at something, right? Okay, I can't be professional for every single thing that I'm doing. But I'm learning every day. I usually don't use this until I'm doing live. I don't even touch it. So I gotta practice a little bit for the next time. But I think I got it. I got the timer. If you guys saw the lovely timer that I made today. So I think it's Hade or Haiti. I'm not sure how to say your name, like I was saying earlier where you couldn't hear me. I am very American in my vernacular and I do butcher names. Please forgive me. But she asked me to take, she's a Patreon member. Thank you for your support. Clap for yourself. And yeah, those members get quick response. You know, I just feel like I work for you guys. So it's kind of fun and it's challenging. You guys put me in a direction that kind of like, okay, you have questions maybe I have not asked myself, or you have questions that, you know, it's going to challenge me to go ahead and take a look at things. So we're going to work on a tech pack. I'm going to start with the garment that I already started on that is within the tech pack, and I'm going to show you guys and give you a little bit of feedback, my personal opinion. But I'm going to open up a project, and this is all about the tech pack, and then we're going to get to these jackets and coats. Okay, so do you want to save this file? Yes. Save it as jacket mod. I was using the modular interface. Jacket mod. Did I spell jacket wrong? I think so. I think I spelled jacket mod. What did I spell? I pressed the L. I'm not even going to try to say that. Okay. Tech pack test for Haiti. I think she's from the Congo. If you guys can hear me, say hello to everyone. Say hello to me. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to open this whole project. I tried to put zipper buttons, lots of pieces, so you guys can see what happens. Forgive my fit avatar here. She's not the sexy CLO avatar. She's got some fit issues as well. I don't know what's going on here. I think the the hip, waist to shoulder is too long on the sample, so I could shorten the whole thing at the top. But here we have a little dress with some buttons. My dorky dresses. I know some of my dresses are really cool. You'll see on Instagram, and some of them are just dorky dresses that I use to test. But let's take a look at what are you talking about, Louise? The jacket or the dress? The dress is too tall from the high point shoulder to the waist for this avatar mannequin thing. So yeah, I'm not going to try to fit it. We're going to talk about the tech pack right now. And then we'll see how you write fit corrections, because so it's funny, you guys are here, but I'm reading what you're writing over here. And then there's a delay. So if you see me going like this, I'm like that, I'm like this, I'm looking at the screen, and I'm talking to you. I'm looking at the screen, I'm talking to you. Okay, tech pack. So this is a little dress here. I did measurements on the dress. Now, here's a funny little thing. If you're a pattern maker, there are technical design measurements and there are pattern measurements. So if you go up here, you'll be able to see your line lengths and your 2D measurements. Let's look at our line lengths. Okay. So this tells the story of the curve. You can see your front and back curve. Do I have it? Yeah. So this is my measurement. The measurement shows that it matches the armhole. That's great. That's what's in the red. But the actual armhole length is different. So let's look at that. So take that note. That's like 11 1/4, right? And I'm going to change this fabrication so you can see the pattern a little bit better. So here you have your pattern surfaces. So you have translucent, monochrome, you have your regular fabric colors, transparent, grid. You can see your triangulated mesh here. You can see the back side, and this separates your pattern pieces by color. Okay, so let's just take a look at some of these measurements real quick. Guys, if I speed through things, that's because I only intend to be on for an hour. Personally, I don't like to watch videos longer than 1 hour. Some people watch for 3 hours. I can't. My attention is no good. Okay, so let's do white so we can see it. So right now, the actual line, you see that? It is not quite the same as the stitch line, or is it? I think it is. I just ate my words. So right now you can see your pattern pieces have measurements, but that is not necessarily the measurement of your technical design measurements. So they may not match. So let's look at this armhole in my measurement section, my POMs. So armhole curved in the front, I have 8, and you could say 8 3/8, and straight it comes out to be 7 3/8. So with that being said, I didn't measure the back. I want you to watch me measure 2 different ways, and then we'll make some mathematical deductions. So down here on your toolbar, sorry if my toolbars are at the left, this is my own personal preference. I know some of you watch my videos and my toolbars are on the left. Because we read left to right, I kind of feel more comfortable like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take measurements, and then I'm going to edit measurements. So let's take the measurement for the back armhole, and let's see what we have. With this tool, you kind of have to go around to get the full measurement, and then you double click when you're ready to get that measurement. For me, just go as close as you can. If you want the actual true, double click. You see, if I don't go close to the curve, I'm not going to get the full measurement that it's going to give me. I want to see if it's going to be the same measurement. Maybe it won't because I didn't go as close as I wanted to go. 9.87. Okay, so since I didn't go as close as it is, right. But I can't just pop that into the spec sheet. I have to create a POM and measure it. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this, and I'm going to do it again. Right? It deletes the line, it deletes the whole thing. So now, you know, measurements are meticulous, but I already know that this is 9.87, but it's not going to come up on my POM unless I measure it, right? POMs are what we really need a tech pack for. We need a tech pack for a lot of different things. So let me just go and add this one more measurement so you guys can see how just closely align your measurement tool to take your POM best you can, follow the curve. Yeah, that jacket, Louise, that jacket is a modular jacket. I already know what's wrong with it. I was looking at it this morning, and yeah, no. That's the jacket that CLO gives you. I'm always hating on CLO. Even though I talk to them all the time, it's like I hate on them. So this thing is magnetic, so you have to kind of get closer to this curve, and I know it's going to tell me it's 9.87. That's 9 7/8 for all of you metrics. And speaking of metrics, as you can see to the left, the POMs are in inches, and I'm measuring in inches. But in the tech pack, we will get a lovely surprise. So that is close enough to my 9.87. So I'm going to go ahead. Now you can see how it's different, right? If you don't get the whole thing, I think you could change it. So let's see if we can change it. So this is back armhole, right? I'm just showing you guys how the tech pack process is in this thing. So let me go back to the measurements. Can I just type it in? No, I can't highlight it and type it in because it is telling me that this is what you want to measure and you have to stick to it. Okay, but you have your pattern measurements and you have your technical measurements. They do not always match. Depending on fabrication, depending on, I can give a spec that the back armhole is going to be 9 7/8, and the pattern maker can make it 9 7/8, and it won't look nothing like this. That's why we make patterns. That's why we modify patterns. That's why we modify shapes and curves and everything. Flat pattern making is subjective. Really subjective to who's making the curve. Some things you can get away with, some things you can't, but it's all in the person actually doing it. That's why you have good pattern makers and pattern makers that need work or practice. Okay. So now this garment is ready for the tech pack. We got our buttons here. Default button. Is this the one that we use? Default button? Yes, right? So we're going to name this button. You see I'm so Long Island, right? We're going to name this button. It's a button. It's not a button. It's a button. Center front, 4-hole, right? Because when you're doing these things have to be named. You don't need all these pieces if you're going to make a tech pack that is 3D. Great. If you're going to make a tech pack that is for pattern makers, that's going to show the pattern, you don't need all these pieces. So a lot of these pieces, I don't need 2 sleeves because why? I'm going to cut 2. So if you look at my pattern measurements, I only measured one side of pattern. I didn't measure the chest. I didn't measure any of these things. So for the purpose of this video, I am not going to do that. Louise is already telling me that this needs some work. So I would work on this in the real world before even taking all of these measurements. But since we're looking at the tech pack and the tech pack only, get on with it. Up here in this little cloud, you're going to see share via closet. Tech pack via closet is in the drop down after you click that button, and it is going to save everything in this file, ZPRJ file, for the tech pack that is virtual and in Excel. Okay, so let's do that. There's a little hesitation in my voice only because tech pack needs work. But you can make the most out of it if you know how to build a tech pack yourself. You can put in the things in place. If you have no other tech pack, if you're not a Patreon member and you didn't get the free tech pack that I uploaded for everyone, that's full of different types of pages that you might need, like the cutter's must, the trim page, all of that. If you don't have that, this works. If you're going to use the 3D part of CLO3D tech pack thing. So it's, I got the blue wheel and we're going to see what had happened, because I did try it before a couple of times. There's a video already on it. Not much has changed since that video, but Haiti is asking me to take a look at it again and walk you through. You need to name your pieces. Sleeve B, sleeve A. I know that I don't need sleeve A, so I might write a note to omit that piece. I know I don't need contour right, because contour left and contour right is going to be the same pattern. Same thing for these. So I can go ahead and, you know, let the pattern maker know in the tech pack that these are no longer needed, or these pieces are duplicate pieces. It's kind of tough making patterns in CLO. I'll tell you, one of the things that I'm working on is the next couple of projects. Besides the coats that I'm working on, coats and jackets, I'm working on denim. That's also another request. I am working on a bigger project, comparing fit in Browzwear and comparing fit in CLO3D. And I'm going to use Tech as well, because Tech is more affordable. But I'm going to look at the 2D and the 3D using the same fabric properties and the same avatars. And, you know, I've got a lot of people interested in the findings that are going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And that's going to be a really, really good project. So I'm going to work on a good pattern. I'm going to work on fixing the pattern according to the fabric in each. And then I'm hoping that one of the manufacturers that I talk to all the time will actually make the 3 different garments. And then I have a fit model who's going to be the size of the garment. And I'm going to have her test out those three things in the appropriate fabric. So it's really good. I hope I haven't talked to the manufacturer yet, but I will let you guys all know if there's a partnership with that happening soon. I'm just looking through all of the 3D projects, the 3D softwares that are out there other than CLO and Browzwear, because everything has its pluses and pros and cons, I should say. So as you can see, I've been talking for a few minutes and this wheel is still going. So this gives me an opportunity to tell you guys the projects that I'm working on. I'm also working on a project for, hey, we're ready. So I'll leave that one for later. Okay. You're gonna say open, right? It's gonna take you to your CLO Set account. Now I'm already logged in, but I have the dress down here, I believe. So I could just say upgrade the style. Now, what should I do and do it as a different one? I'm going to show you this one that I already did, but let's do it as a new one, right? So when you open this, your 3D will come in. If you are not using a CLO 3D avatar, yeah, that image will not come in. So you will not see the avatar for the Alvanon form. So that would have to be a notation that I make for the tech pack. That would have to be a notation. How would the pattern maker know what form I use? Or if it's a standard, then you know. But because Alvanon's 3D forms are proprietary, then they cannot be imported into CLO Set. Why? I don't know. I mean, if I'm paying for the avatar, then I should be able to see it through whatever form of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I should be able to use it. I shouldn't have to be able to, like, you know, this is just for viewing. So there's nothing that can be, like, downloaded or copied or anything. At least I don't think. In my technical world, I don't think that that's a thing. So I know this dress has fit issues, so I'm going to go through that. The CLO avatar is a little longer in the body. If you guys watched my video on avatar conversion, then I call out a lot of things with the avatars and their proportions and how things are different, especially with DAS 3D. There's more body, you know, realistic body types. Okay, I didn't show you guys, but I do have 3 colorways. That's for Valentine's Day. Yay, the red dress. And purple. If anybody doesn't know, purple's my favorite color. I think you probably see purple on so many different things, or some sort of fuchsia or purple. It's my favorite color. But let's work on the red one. Since it's Valentine's Day. Some of you care, some of you don't. I halfway care. Only because my family members like to wish me happy Valentine's Day. Okay. So the tech pack, as you can see, is here. This is not a rendering. This tech pack I can open and download. But let's take a look at the 3D interface. So I can zoom in, zoom out. Ooh, I can see the fabric. Lovely. I can see the stitching. I didn't forget about the stitching. I don't know if Darja's on here yet, but I didn't forget about this stitching video for Dash 3D that's coming up. If I want to turn it around, same thing that you would do in CLO, turn it around. So I added a zipper. Not really invisible, almost invisible. Pretty teeny tiny zipper, probably 1 gauge. 1 gauge zipper. I didn't increase the particle distance, nothing really. I mean, these are all things that you would do before preparing to present something to someone. If it's a work in progress and you know that you're working with your pattern maker on this style, some of the things you can go through, you know. So let's open a tech pack. Why it switched to black, I don't know. Maybe because that's the color I was working in. But you saw, now I downloaded the tech pack. So now you have an Excel file. The overview is your main image for front, side, and back. So you have to actually go in and edit all of this information. So that means when you put it into the tech pack, you have to have like everything named, okay? Tech pack test, we're gonna name this DD for Dorky Dress 005. I'm sure she's probably number 55 that I've made. And I'm going to say this is SS21, right? It looks like winter, so let's say fall 21, right? FA21, and I'll put, that's enough, right? So this is a Z pack. Will it open with this name? I have no idea. Here you have a choice if you're collaborating to draft, adopt, drop, or hold, right? You can render it from here, you can upload from here, and you can do a fit check. Now, with this fit check, they only give you the avatars from CLO3D. Avatar. Fit check. I've never clicked this before, guys. So I'm discovering what this is, because why would I fit test fail? You're absolutely right, because I didn't use that avatar. So what is fit test going to do if I'm using a different avatar? Let me use Anna. Anna, will you test the fit for me? Anna's going to fail too. Are they going to tell me my fit is failed? I'm going to create a new avatar. What? Listen, guys, always keep your measurements handy. I didn't show you, but I did. Or I probably, if you saw it on Instagram, but I didn't get my body book measurements. You see that? My standards for body book. So we're gonna do that. I'm whispering because it's top secret information. Wait. Let's put in the see, it's centimeters. Oh, imperial. Okay, so she's 5'4", right? How much does she weigh? Give me a number, guys. Oh, so you guys, can you guys see the Excel chart when I open it? All right, I'm going to put in some measurements. Let me pull out some measurements. That's the transformer sound. I'm going to transform this girl. Okay. Close set, close set, close set. That. Let's transform this girl. I know what size she's supposed to be. Why is there a slider here? Should I just be able to type it in? Oh my God. Why is there a slider here? I'm not interested in the slider because it doesn't have half inches. Oh my God. Chloe, what are you doing? What if it's a half inch? Ugh. How am I supposed to do a fit test? 27 it is. Hips. Is it me? Why is the hip so small? Let's see. That don't sound right. Oh, 37. Okay. Leg, I don't know, leg. So these are limited measurements. You can only go up so high. So this is good if you're gonna make a custom pattern, but there's no half inches here. Hello, the world is not made of wholeness. My first time using things and I just get like, I don't want the leg to be that big. I don't remember what it was, 30. Okay, let's create this. What are you gonna tell me? So, for making beautiful, beautiful garments that look nice, it's great. Technical people will have a problem. Now, I made this avatar, so she should fit, correct? Fit check. Of course it's failed. Why would it work? Anyway, okay, I digress. So can you guys see the Excel? Oh, I can see myself, so I can see if I click on the CLO Tech pack. It's only going to open up the same thing. So let me close this. Open it again. Guys, if you have to be really, really good at pattern making if you're going to use this program for pattern making. 3D simulation, close enough, get what you need, get out, and use a 2D program. That's going to be my recommendation right now. When I go into make this tech pack and everything, I get frustrated because it's not as precise as I want it, and like it doesn't allow you to save a pattern that doesn't have duplicate pieces. You know, you can export the DXF, but my DXF is still, I can't pick the pieces that I want in the DXF, so it's still gonna have duplicate pieces. If I don't use CLO avatar, you know, then these functions don't really work for me. Chime in. Louise, what are you saying really to? I like Louise. I like to talk to people because when you're doing these videos, it's like you're talking to yourself. And yeah, Did it save the name? Yes. So I wanted to download it again. If you change the parameters for saving this file, then you don't have to fill all this in, and it comes out on every page. Now, here's the Cutter's Must page. This is what I'm talking about. This is confusing because it's way too many pieces. But if you're using it as a 3D reference, maybe you have some pieces that are asymmetrical, but when there's symmetry involved, like I think the pieces should be like one. Like you should not have, if it's symmetrical, if I look and I see my back is symmetrical, then I should only have two back pieces. I should only have one sleeve because my sleeve is based on symmetry. This pattern here would be my mistake because I don't have these two based off of symmetry. But that would be my thought, that the symmetrical pattern would not come in because that symmetrical means cut two. Am I right? Right. Cut two. Here is the Cutter's Must. It lists your pattern pieces. So now you see that I've worked on everything as far as the naming, left to right. So here I could tell a note. I could put a note here that says cut to right. This is contour right, cut to, and I could say contour left, disregard. But why do I have to do that? Like I said, you can build this tech pack to be whatever you want. It has the pieces, which is good. Center front panel. This is a Cutter's Must, so this is where you write this. Cut 1. I'm letting them know. Cut 1, cut 2. This is self. Right? This is how Cutter's Must is. I don't like the layout. Self. I'm going to put X because I don't want you to cut that. Same thing here. Self contrast. Right? Cutter's Must, note. Cut 2. Disregard. So these are the things that you have to know what your cutter's going to look for. If you gave this to a cutter without any notes, you would get 4. Or he will come back to you, or she will come back to you with a question of like, okay, what do you want me to do with this? Wait, what? Exactly. Gives you the piece number, right? 5, 5, and 4. 5 and 4. So they could find everything, and this is great if you have so many pieces. However, okay, Louisa, it is good for pattern making, but as easy as it is to make like a wonderful 3D garment, it is not easy for a pattern maker to use this tool. And if anybody else is on here that's a pattern maker, chime in. If you think it's great for pattern making, then you must be some kind of wonderful genius pattern maker. I like the 2D programs. I guess it's what I know best, and I feel like it's more precise. But that's that. That's my opinion. So here's your Cutter's Must. Here's your BOM. This must have been a green colorway that I forgot to name. I forgot to name this. I had this green, so this naming is still in here. So these are things that you have to watch out for. This is telling you how much yield you have. Let's go and look at the BOM real quick. BOM is something new that they've added. I worked on this BOM a little bit. Let me go ahead and change the name for this colorway. Charcoal. Typing. My son was 11 when he learned how to type faster than me. Okay. Charcoal. What? Charcoal. Blah, 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 charcoal. had a job where I had to do nothing but give color names. Country gray as opposed to city gray. So I'm going to save this file. It's got the Pantone colors. It's got your stitching information. Let's go to the BOM once I finish saving. Always save your work when you make changes. Right? BOM. This is new. I use the swatch on fabric. Now, with the swatch on fabric online, they give you the pricing. This fabric is not $1, $1.10 a yard. So we have to look it up, because right now I don't know what the actual real fabric price is, which is not good. I could change that price. Let's say this fabric is, what is it called? Double. Anyway, let's say this fabric is not $5.99, right? Before I start looking around too much, say this fabric is $6.99, right? For all of the colorways, I changed it for, wait, $5.79. Let me make sure. Oh, so you have to change all of the colorways. You cannot just put in the fabric price. That is not cool, because you saw somebody like me just make a mistake. $5.99 and $6.99, and I did that. It's not good for costing. $5.99 and $6.99. But maybe the fabrics are different prices. Maybe you use a different price, right? My buttons are 30 cents. I have 6 buttons per garment. So this is telling me that all of the colorways, the cost so far is $71. But somehow my zipper did not make it onto the BOM. Where's the zipper? Why is my zipper not on my BOM? Aha! These are the things that you discover when you start using TechPack. Louise, I'm going to be looking at CLO Tech 2D next week. I have Optitex, and I will do a video on Optitex, making a pattern from spec sheet in Optitex and making a pattern from a spec sheet in CAD. Why did I pick Tuca? They have the most features, and they have a lot more availability for indie designers. They made some changes to their program, and they're more inclusive to the indie designer or the made-to-measure designer, but they still have comparable features to a big system like Optitex. Optitex is great, and I have it. I brought it. Spent way too much money for that. Still spending money for that. However, the way that it handles 2D files, I use it for work, I use it for my personal things, I use it to make markers. The way that it handles files from different countries, because you know there are a lot of different pattern things. So I'm going to go ahead and change this. I've changed the fabric, I've changed my costing. Asia uses a lot of different generic pattern making software. When you're dealing with countries like Indonesia or China or Korea, everything's going to be in a different format. Optitex handles those formats without a doubt, hands down. It can also handle Illustrator files. It can convert your things from Illustrator to, but everybody does not have Optitex money. And I'm more about, helping people come up without like spending mega money, because you want to make money before you spend money. You don't want to spend money and be in a hole and try to dig yourself out. That is annoying. Been there, done that. So I am at 40 minutes. This is the tech pack. Let's finish going through it because I'm updating it. So you have your layout. This has your fabric. I just realized, hey, my fabric price is wrong, right? This shows you the layout. You can actually go in and change this layout. So let's say you downloaded this tech pack and you're like, wait a minute, is this where my zipper is? How come the zipper is here, but it doesn't allow me to give any costing or price? So I would have to enter in the price of the zipper. Quantity 1, right? Center back. It's there. There's no image for it or nothing, all right? No item, no, nothing came up. Zipper. Zip. These are the tools you have. Make it work. It could work. I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just not liking the interface. You have to make sure your information, before you hit that button, or you're going to be creating Tech Pack. This says Tech Pack 0, but the other one, it said Tech Pack 5. So I've done it several times, but you need to go, look, here's a zipper. These are buttons, and this is a zipper. Something is fishy because graphic, I don't have any graphic, so this was all not what I wanted it to be. The zipper is not on the BOM, but it's here. So say this is $1.25 and I have 1, and it doesn't give me the total price, but I know that it's $1.25. So there's no formulas in here. You have to do your own formula. However, it should be easy to do the formula, right? Equals sum 1.25 times 1, right? So if I had 2, would it change? Yes. Nope. Ha ha ha. Okay, wait. If I had 2, I have to change the formula. Okay. So you have to do your Excel math. Let's look at the other colors. So same thing. Scroll down. You can change your layout. In print layout. So you know that you're only using how much fabric, right? You know, save the earth, guys. I'm trying to make a nice marker here. Save some money. But will it save the other colorways? Let's see. So my company, workroom, company room. You can create a brand on here. So now I have this file, right? I want to update it because I gave it a name here. Now, if I didn't name my file, will it change the name of this? No. So that information is still going to be here, which is great. Long story short, you have to get everything right. Download it once, but save yourself from having to download it over and over and over and over and over. It has your stitching information on here. Great. Lilac, same thing. Too many pieces. So this is all based on cutting 1, which is not the usual way. And if you don't know your yardage, you have to put that in here. You have to change this on your marker layout where your print layout is. You have to change this fabric width, which, if it is the fabric from Swatch on, why does it say 44 inches? I guaranteed if I look this fabric up, it's not 44 inches. which one, what is this one? They all say 44 inches. So you need to go ahead and put in your fabric information. Oh, Lordy. If at first we succeed. So you have down here under your fabric properties all of your usual fabric lengths. 60 is like, wow, nice woven fabrics. It's printed at 60 inches. Knits are usually smaller. Cheaper fabrics kind of range between 55 and 58. 70 is usually for like, I'm not sure, maybe coats. Not sure exactly where a 70-inch fabric might come in, maybe denim or something like that. Okay. So that is the tech pack, guys. I spent an hour on this. If you have a graphic, it will show up here. And the graphic placement. Measurements. Here is my pet peeve. I've given all of these measurements in inches. It shows you where to measure, how to measure, what part is measured. This is fantastic. However, I did everything in inches, and this comes in centimeters. So what do I do? Because this is a very, very important part to me. What do I do? Guys, what do I do? To go to your BOM, I mean your measurements. Save them. Oh, yeah. Go to my Excel file, open. I think that was desktop, download, desktop. Where did I put it? I hate when I do that. Oh, my CLO assets. I don't even see it here. Oh boy. Anyway, I digress. I'll have to print it out in the Excel format, copy and paste it. I want to go here to get that file, copy, save, yes. Browse. Nothing. All files. There it is. So I would have to go ahead and let everybody know these are inches. Round them off. Just reading your comments, guys, catching up. Where do you change the width? Hold on a second. Of course. Yep. Love it. So you have to go in and like maneuver these. Or not. Here's my thought. Just type it in, round it up, you know, whatever you want it to be. But then I would take this and I would just copy and paste and put it into my bottom of my sheet here, because you know what? Why is it not in inches? And I would save that. And there's a tech pack. Where do you change the fabric thing? So the tech pack gets on my nerve because it's a lot more work than needed to be, but it's pretty, right? I think so. So here, if I have a comment, right? If I'm like, hey man, I want to add a comment. I can add a comment and say, waistline is too long. I need it to shorten from the top. Awesome. So I could tell my pattern maker that, like, yeah, your pattern is not looking good. But it's my pattern. Wait. Right? So she's going to see that. I can write a note. Complete. Right? Waistline is too long. If I want to just type an annotation, can I just type it? Or do I have to do this? Comment. Buttons are too high. This needs to be fixed by Thursday. Thursday. Call John with the update. So this is a good collab tool. Fantastic. So everything is there, right? Post. Now I use this with one of my clients, sportswear client, and it worked fine. I was able to make the pattern and do everything, you know. Is it going to grow and change? Of course. CLO is all about research and development. And they know what we want. If you write on that message board saying what you want, they really read it and they really make the changes and fix the things that they need to fix on there. This wheel is spinning. I have no idea why. So let us go. Guys, I don't have a lot of time for the coat, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and open the project that I set up for you guys. Coat demo. I'm just going to modify this coat. We're going to talk a little bit about it. Look at that. So pretty. All right. So, if you ever want to reset your windows, down here you could toggle through. I'm sure everybody knows that you can do that. Excuse me. All right. So there are a few things about this coat that I did not like. So I'm going to go ahead and change my fabric in here so you can see a little bit more of what's going on with the coat. It's a great coat, if I do say so myself. However, there are a few adjustments that I need to make, and I'll make that with you guys while talking about the coat. So there are two schools of thought. Make your fabric thicker or add a lining. I'll be honest with you, most people do not add linings because of the level of difficulty that there is with the layers. However, if you need to have a lining piece, you have to know the excuse me, the pattern making principles behind adding a lining to something. So now I made this coat. I like the sleeve, but I feel like it's too curve severe. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete the curves here. I'm yawning, guys. Why? I'm tired. Right. I already know that I don't like it straight, but I think the curve was too severe. I'm going to simulate this real quick. The trick about coats is getting that collar to lay right. So let's talk a little bit about these lines, because I'm going to go ahead and modify these lines. This collar is not connected. The lapel and the collar are not connected, but they need to be on the same roll line. So this roll line and this roll line is not exactly the same. They meet somewhat, but that's not necessarily a good thing. So let me look at the sleeve real quick. So you see how I have that little nip at the bottom? Let's take that out. Now I'm going to give it a very subtle shape. And I think I might like that a lot better. Yep, that's why I had that little nip, because I don't like this kissing thing. So let's see what we could do real quick about that sleeve kiss. Ooh. Darja, hello. I feel like I talk to you every day, Darja. Darja and I are part of a lovely community of 3D designers, 3D people that use DAZ, people that use Blender, Cinema 4D, iClone, and it's part of a chat that I'll leave in the link. It's part of a Discord. So we do talk a lot about different things, but I will talk to you about this collar real quick. So, like I said, there are two schools of thought. Fabric, the thickness of the fabric. So, how do you change the thickness? I'm going to answer Louise's question in just 1 second. Down here at the bottom, the thickness. So if I wanted to just display thickness, like a wool type of thickness, maybe it's not the wool fabric, but it's a fabric that I like with a bump map that I like. I like the weight of it. It's close to what I want, but I want the thickness to be a little bit thicker. Then I can change that. I could also change it on my piece. Here, where it says thickness and rendering. Maybe I want it to look a little bit thicker when rendered. So if I just look at that in the render window, it's not looking as thick as I wanted it to look. All right. Let's go back to my piece window. All right. Key thing is to have this line. I'm going to move my collar so you can see the collar, the line on the collar. Okay. Let's turn the line on the collar. So really, hey. All right. So they meet in the same place basically. I think I have some kind of magnetic thing on, but this collar is too. What's happening in the window here? All that flipping, girl. Let me reset my collar real quick. All that flipping, girl. All right. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to change this line. Let's freeze this collar. I have a friend that always reminds me to freeze pattern pieces when I'm working. Okay, so this collar right here, I'm going to show you. I'm going to change this line to give it less curve all the way up. But also, this collar needs to be slashed and spread. Why? Because the outside of the collar is not curved enough. So when you have a coat collar as big as it is, it needs to kind of fall like a shawl on the back of the collar, so it should not be straight. I made this very straight, but now I need to go ahead and slash and spread it just a little bit so that the outer collar has a little more roundness to it. And you'll see what I mean. If you were to break open a coat, you would probably see that the shape of the collar is somewhat like this. So I'm going to go ahead and I've lessened the line, and I'm going to unfreeze and render. I really literally make that sound when simulating. What's happening here? She said she doesn't want to go to the party. So now I see that slashing and spreading has changed my line. That's okay. It's going to give me an opportunity to make a better collar line here. It duplicated the lines. That's weird. Okay, so here. Let's go back to this piece right here. Aha. Close. So let's talk about this line here. It needs to kind of be less. I'm gonna curve it just a little bit. Just a little, not too much, mama. Just a little. Okay. I don't know why I think these things gonna take an hour. Like I'm just gonna do this in 1 hour. Okay, we talked a lot about Tech Pack today. I'm happy with that. All right, let's see if this collar lays a little bit better. Let's go ahead and use our fold. Let's help it out a bit. Just a little bit. She doesn't wanna go to the party. I like it better. Yes, I do. Yeah, look at that. So giving your collar a little bit curve at the back neck helps it to lay flatter. This is a key component of coats. They kind of have that shawl look to the back of their collar. Making sure that this collar roll line rolls somewhat together and close to the body. I could still get a little closer, I think. I could even move this down a little. When you have an internal line, this is on 244. I'm going to put this on 360. So I think I changed it because I didn't want so much of a straight fold. This 360 will give me a straight fold. You can see it changing. If you have a collar stand and a collar, so right now this fold is acting as a collar stand. No, the slash and spread does not mess up the roll. Oh, you mean with the yeah, it messed up the line. Like you should slash and spread after you make the roll, but if you want to fix it, yeah, you're gonna have to do some recon work. And I'm going to have to smooth out these points for the next, you know, whenever I'm ready to produce this pattern. But what I wanted to show you is that these lines kind of have to match up a little bit better. And it has to be not so severe. If you have the curve in the pattern, then you don't really need the curve to be so severe. I was doing it the opposite way. I was severely curving the fold line. Now you can see on this side that it's really, really sharp. So for coats, you don't want it to be sharp. So I guess I had it at 245 in order to give it a little bit more of a roll. Maybe even 200. So that will puff it up a little bit and have less of a crease. But I like that color. So here is a cheat that I do because this is a wide open coat, and I'm not going to change that right now. Where does the button line go? Guys, where your lapel ends, Let's do it on this side. Take a line straight across, right? Here is where your button goes. I'm going to put the line on the other side. It took me a while to figure this out just on 3D. For some reason, I couldn't figure out where does the damn button go and why will my buttons not close. Sorry if I use profanity and somebody doesn't like it. Sorry. But right now I have this faked out, right? So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to do a little line right here that I could see how much it is. Half inch, right? So I'm going to take this line, move it over here, and I'm going to start, let that be the guide for my buttonhole. And then I'm going to take off the stitch because I cheated, guys. I cheated so bad. So very, very bad, right? I have a stitch right here. That stitch is, yes it is. So let's take that off, right? But this is where I want my buttonhole, so then I'm not wrong, right? But I can keep it on that same line so that it goes to reasonably be half inch, somewhere like that, right? Okay, there. So let us see if I have a good overlap, because that's about right. There's my button. I'm gonna click on this button, I'm gonna pull it out, and then I'm gonna simulate and see what happens. Nice. Follow this for your buttons. Where your lapel ends is where your button begins, on that line. So I can go ahead and make double-breasted, single-breasted. I can make a button over here, button over there, button. As long as it's in that line and your lapel is closed, voila, you're good to go with the button. All right. Now, another thing for coats is the shoulder pad thing. Guys, it's not easy. I do not use the shoulder pads. You can make your own shoulder pads. I do not use the shoulder pads in the trim folder. You can make your own shoulder pad. A lot of people, instead of using shoulder pad, use the shoulder pad material, and I'll tell you what they do. I'm gonna offset this line. First, I'm going to change this to curve point. I'm going to offset this line half inch. Change, let offset the internal line 0.5 half inch, right? I'm going to go ahead and say click, click. Does this have a... So, click, 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 click. Oh, click, click, click. Why? I'm afraid to do it. All right. Guys, I have to cut it. I don't want to cut it, but I'm going to cut it. It doesn't look bad cut so, right? It doesn't look bad. It looks like, yeah, that's a thing that you do. So I'm going to do a real quick trick. And I'm only going to, hold on. Right? And then I'm going to merge this back. I'll tell you why. Because I scare myself sometimes. Okay, so my sleeve is back to 1. I have the piece that I want. And I'm going to go ahead and add a fabric. Here is the trick. Let's see if we have shoulder pad fabric, right? We should, right? There's little shoulder pad fabric here. In Marvelous Designer, they have shoulder pad fabric. Ooh. Psh. We get nothing. But guess what? Okay. Right? I just made my own fabric. 99.99.99. Right? And I'm gonna go ahead and make the thickness 5 millimeters. I'm gonna sew this onto my sleeve. I am going to click on internal line. Let's sew this here. And then I'm going to click on this piece. I'm going to say superimpose under. And we're going to look at the difference after simulate. There, I just did a shoulder pad. Did you guys see that? You better rewind. You rewind. Okay? Shoulder pad, done. Difference. Oh, I didn't know you guys can't see that window. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to, for the next time, I'm sorry about that. Let's see if I could just squeeze it in. Maybe I can just do like this. This is why I need you guys. I need you. Oh, I did everything. This computer moves so slow with these softwares. All these softwares open right now. Let me see if I can squeeze it in a little bit better. After all that time, who was that said that? Darja, thank you. Okay, how about that? Let me look back and see. I will definitely fix it for the next time, guys. So that's how you create your own shoulder pad fabric. Right? Here is your formula to put into your default fabric so that you could make a little bit of a pad at your sleeve. It will give a little bit of a puffy look. If I wanted to do that to the other sleeve, we're going to see before and after. So it gives the appearance of stability. Now with the thickness, what happened with my thickness? Let's see. Maybe because I don't have on fabric thickness. Oh, look at that. Does it show on the other side? Yes, it does. So guess what you have to do? Did it do -0? No, of course not. So do your sleeves. Oh, this little trick I learned. I've been waiting to do this. So let's see if this works because I have no idea how to do this. So where does it go? Where is that thing? Here. This needs to go under this. The opposite happened. Okay, wait. This is called subset layer, right? So how about this needs to go under this, over top. Let's get rid of it. After this, I'm off, guys. Can I undo? Yes. So how about this? It's not going under. All right, you have to use Old Faithful and just make this on layer 1. Make this 5 particle distance. Yeah, I don't like it. Guys, to be continued. Why I will get this thing out of here, I will show you that later. But my mom's calling me. Darja, I did not share how to do top stitches, but I will do that for you really quick if this thing does not crash. Guys, it is who's asking me? SB, what computer is good for CLO? I would say anything with an i7 card and a graphic card that is above 970. Graphic cards are in the 3000s right now for NVIDIA graphic cards, AMD cards. You want to get a good graphic cards because the softwares are keeping up with the graphics cards. So if you don't get a good graphics card, which they're hard to find right now, then you're missing out on some of the robustness in the software. I'm not telling you to go out and buy it, but processors, graphics cards, and memory. This is like the big 3 things. So have enough RAM, have enough, like I have 1 terabyte of RAM, right now. I have a graphics card of 3080, and you still see the wheel. So, I mean, guys, look. All in all, look, I'm crashing. Okay? Wait for the program to respond while I talk to you guys. Darja, I will do a video on Patreon about the top stitching and for top stitching and what do you call that? How to transfer the top stitching from CLO3D to DAZ3D. It's simple step. I showed you the export, so you should be able to get it from that and just export it, and you'll see your stitching. And that's it. So guys, you got the factory video coming up. You got my big project with the comparison test for the dress forms and for the pattern. I'm working on denim, so the next time you see me, look at this. With all of that SB, I have the software running for the video. I'm streaming. Your internet service, since this is an internet software, needs to be on point. Right now I got Photoshop open. No telling why I got Photoshop open. And now look at my coat. So you guys, I'm going to cry now. And I'm going to sign off because this always happens with CLO. Save your work. But you guys got to see how to make the collar. You guys got to see how to make your own shoulder pads. Collar line, button line. I think we did good for today. I think it's beautiful. Maybe I'll make a print out of it.